Assalamualaikum, selamat tengah hari semua. Okay, so for today, so we are actually in our week 10 we are already in week 10, so we're almost dah nak habis dah chapter. So today we're going to cover our next topic, which is chapter 8, Servlet. Okay, let me share with you the slides. That's fine, keep it inside, a little bit lower. Jangan hilangkan dia. Okay, dia hilang sendiri. Okay. Okay, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So, saya startkan dulu dengan lecture for today. Full screen ke? So, for the lecture notes, I already upload in the future, so you guys can get it there. Okay. Okay, Chun. So today, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to continue with chapter 8, Servlet. Servlet ni is actually, okay, last week, you guys already go through the Java EE. Okay. So in Servlet, it just one of the component yang build up the Java EE. Okay. Kenapa dengan slide saya ni? Okay. So, tak ada full screen lah maksudnya. So before I continue, let's recap back what you guys already go through last week. So last week, the most important things or the gist of your chapter 7 punya topic with regards to Java EE application model. This is actually the whole things yang being explained throughout the chapter. Okay, so dalam Java EE application model ni, there are 3 layers. Okay, first one we have the client. The client machine reflected as the client tier. Second level, we have Java EE server. Okay. Dan third one, ataupun JSP and business tier. Dan third layer, we have the database server ataupun EIS. EIS ni is actually stand for Enterprise Information System tier. Kenapa dipanggil EIS? Sebab enterprise, this is the Java EE. So EE deals with the enterprise. So enterprise information system with regards to the database. Okay, so let's start back your understanding, okay, with regards to this application model, JE application model. So inside the client here, what we have, okay, when you say client, so we have two components. First one, we have application client. Second, we have web client. Okay, application dengan web client ni apa dia sebenarnya? Application, simple words, all the apps lah kan, business application yang you download dekat dalam your phone tu, the application base yang you download, that is actually application. And web refer to kepada all types of HTML, XML pages. So from the client side, we have two, application base ataupun web. Okay, then go to second tier. Okay, so here we have the JSP. Okay, dan juga we have the enterprise bin, the component. And last one, with regard to the database tier, of course, we have the database component. So this one is actually, okay, simple analogy nak reflect tentang Java EE ni is actually macam ni. Okay, sekarang ni, you have your own Java application and you would like to make this, your Java application as to be used by others worldwide, okay, to be used throughout the internet. So in order for it to go through it, to be displayed inside the web, to be used inside the internet, can be found inside the internet, other people can download your Java application. So you must connect from your client, okay, from your side, from Java side, to the server. When it deals to the server, of course, it must deal with the database. So this is the complete view applications of Java EE model. Okay, so now this week we're going to cover on the server, okay, server side Java EE server ataupun dalam Java EE server ni we call it as the Servlet. Okay, which means server used for the Java EE, we call it as the Servlet. Okay, so let's continue. So Java on the web or Java EE, so it's actually a thin client, maximize to download, okay, to maximize the download process, and Java all server side. So macam saya explain tadi, macam ni. Okay, so currently you have your client, you have your Java program. So in order for it to be run inside the web, must link to the server. So here it comes the servlet. Okay. So understanding the concept of servlet, what is actually servlet? Servlet is actually a technology that is specifically designed for use to integrate with the HTTP protocol of the web. So HTTP, HTTP of course is actually the web. So servlets are Java programs that run on server, and Java server can be used to process the client request or produce dynamic web pages. So again, what is actually a servlet? Servlet is actually a Java program that runs on the web server. That is servlet. Okay, so here when it comes to your application, for example, your Java program, your Java web, okay, go through the browser. Okay, so sekarang ni awak simpankan dekat awak punya file yang awak cuba nak buka adalah index.html. So inside your web browser, hantar request ni kepada your web server host. So dalam web server host ni apa yang dia lakukan, first dia akan go through the web server itself. Lepas tu dia akan cari dekat dalam local file machine. Ada ke tak ada? Ada, post back the response to the web server post back the HTML page to your browser. Okay, the page that you requested. Okay, so a servlet is like an applet. So apa tu applet? Applet macam kita go through earlier lagi, awal-awal minggu lagi, applet is actually a Java program. So in order for you to, you can run your Java application using two ways kan. Satu, by dia pop up dia punya Java tu, run dia punya Java, ataupun satu lagi dia guna applet untuk display your Java. Okay, so same goes here. A servlet is actually an applet but runs on the server side. Okay, so how actually the servlet functions or performs? Okay, so for example, client send a request to the server. Server starts a servlet. Okay, they start the servlet. And servlet computes the result for the server and does not quit. Okay, sebab itulah kita menggunakan servlet and dia tak quit. Okay, they post back the request, returns back the response to the client. And for example, another client requests, okay, for example, the same page, for example, student A nak buka Facebook, pergi kat server tu buka, dia pergi ke servlet post balik dia punya Facebook page dia. Okay, sekarang student B pun nak buka juga Facebook, okay. So here, what it do, it just only the server, the client, student B, post back server to the server, post the request to the server, nak buka Facebook, dan server dia tak tadi untuk for the first time request dia kena start the servlet. Tapi sekarang ni dah ada result tu, just send balik. So this one is actually can help to mereducekan masa nak load the information. Okay, so that's why we use servlets. So our servlets, units of Java code that runs on the server side, runs in a container. Okay, servlet run in a container where the container provide a specific context. So help the client server communication, not necessarily over HTTP, but usually used in HTTP. So in the focus, which mean, maksudnya kat sini, servlet ni digunakan juga without tak over HTTP pun, not over the internet pun, not over the web pun. Tapi most of it used through the web. Okay, so this is our focus kat sini je lah. Kita nak fokus tentang how the servlet being used throughout the internet, throughout the web. Okay, so what are servlet? You continue. A servlet is any class that implements the JavaXxS.Servlet's interface. So maksudnya dalam your Java program tu, bila awak tengok dekat atas bila diimport JavaXxS.Servlet, this is actually meaning that the Java is actually using the servlet interface. So in practice, most servlets extend the JavaXxS.HttpServlet class, and some servlets just extend until the Genericservlet. Okay, servlets like applets usually lack a main method. Cumanya tak ada main method lah dalam servlet. Ada yang ada yang tak ada. But must implement or override certain other methods. So what are servlet web pages with dynamic content? Okay, easy coordination between servlet to make web application, and also servlet has a container that support many features. Okay, antara features yang servlet support, dia ada session dalam servlet, dia ada persistent, dia ada resource management. Resource management ni is actually with regard, for example here resource management ada lebih contoh kat sini database connection, okay, and dan juga in terms of the security. Okay, so here where are the servlet? So this one, for example, you go through your web browser, open your Chrome, nak pergi ke open your web browser, nak pergi Facebook. So here is actually the servlet. Okay, servlet dekat part dynamic, bukan static. Okay, dan the one that we use in our class, which is the Tomcat server kan, yang you guys download, install, display hello world last week tu. Tomcat server tu is actually a combination of the web server and the servlet server. Okay, so when are servlets? So here receive request for servlet, bila a Java application receive request to run the servlet, so bila di import servlet ke atas tu, so is the servlet S, nama servlet kat sini S lah. Okay, is S loaded? No, reload. If yes, is S is current? If yes, if no, reload balik. If yes, then forward request to S. Ni baru hantar request. Lepas tu nanti servlet die when the servlet server dies. Okay, so maksudnya kat sini, apa servlet die when servlet server dies. Maksudnya kan bila you guys nak start up your Tomcat, you guys klik yang start tu kan, Tomcat start kan. Nak die, bila you guys klik the Tomcat shutdown, dia akan die. So servlet server ni pun akan end lah. So the Servlet API provides interfaces and classes that support servlet. These interfaces and classes are grouped into two packages. So satu JavaServlet, this one. Dan satu lagi JavaServlet.http. Apa yang membezakan dua-dua ni? Bila ada je perkataan HTTP, semua this one is grouped under the JavaServlet HTTP. This one is just the JavaServlet. So JavaServlet interface, instead of you guys, okay, dalam Java, how actually for us to call or to use to create this servlet interface. So this is the coding actually. Okay, tapi sebenarnya saya sepatutnya tunjuk dekat you guys contoh macam mana nak run servlet ni dekat dalam Java, dekat dalam Eclipse, okay, using Eclipse. Tapi sebab saya punya laptop ni tak ada, saya tak install Eclipse, tak apa, nanti time lapse kita buat sama-sama. Okay. Okay, so this is the servlet life cycle. So it's just a flow, you guys can read it. Okay, so servlet architecture overview. So here, when a client posts a request, either it is a get or a post. Kalau get, dia akan activatekan doGet servlet request, hantar request kepada servlet. Okay, servlet go through the servlet interface, post back the response. Kalau post, okay, kalau the client using a post method, so do post the request using the servlet request, servlet patah balik servlet response kepada post dia. Okay, so the servlet HTTP servlet classes. So HTTP servlet class define the servlet for the HTTP protocol, where it extends generic servlet and implements the service method. The service method is implemented as a dispatcher of HTTP requests. The HTTP requests are processed in the following. Okay, so maksudnya when the user have a HTTP request for HTTP servlet class, apa yang dia akan buat adalah dia ada method dia, okay, based on this following method: doGet method, doPost method, doDelete, doput, doOption, and doTrace. All of these methods are the same signature as follows. So macam mana nak createkan this method, dia punya syntax dia just like this. Protected, void, do, kita nak apa kat sini? Get, post, delete, put, trace or option. Then the rest of it is just the same. Okay, throws a servlet exception, java.io, IO exception. Okay, so this is in creating the HTTP servlet class. Okay, now macam mana pula cara nak create the HttpServletRequest Interface pula? So every do yang tadi kita create class tu, Okay, class or method, every do, get, post, delete option tu method in the HttpServlet class has an argument. Okay, sama macam Java class yang biasa, semua class ada argument dia. So of the HttpServletRequest type, which is an object that contain the HTTP request. So maksudnya dalam HTTP request ni dia contain information about the request. So including the parameter name and values, attribute and an input string. Dan HttpServletRequest ni pula is actually a subinterface of ServletRequest. ServletRequest defines a more general interface to provide information of all kinds for all kinds of clients. Okay, so this one, bila ada request, mesti ada response. So bila request, dia hantarlah maklumat-maklumat parameter nak check apa semua apa yang dia mahukan based on the request. So here response dia akan post back the results of the searching. Okay, so every do, get or post method in the HttpServlet class has an argument of the HttpServletResponse type, which is an object that is assists a servlet in sending response. So nak faham yang tadi dia HttpServletRequest to post a request, send a request, respond to send a response to the client. Macam tu sajalah. Okay. Okay, so for example here, obtaining current time based on local and time zone. So for example, saya nak run dia punya example pun tak boleh sebab saya tak ada Eclipse. Nanti saya tunjuk buat tu ni. So kira contohnya lah. Okay. Contohnya dekat sini, ni dia run dekat localhost ya. Ada punya address dia adalah localhost 8080. So local dia nak tahu current time dekat Jerman. Zone time dia adalah Europe or Berlin punya local time and submit. So dia akan display the current time. So this is which mean they implement the servlet. Dia gunakan servlet. Okay, so how servlets? How are servlets? So ni adalah kita punya Java. Okay, Java di mana Java application ni dia import servlet. Okay, import Java servlet. Dan bila dia create punya class, ini servlet class. Nama hellops extend HttpServlet. Okay, so here dia guna dia punya servlet dia guna doGet method. Okay, send request, response, throws IO. Okay, so here apa yang dia nak di-displaykan. So dia nak displaykan dekat sini response.setContextType. So okay, kalau you guys tengok kat sini, sebab servlet kan is actually web server. Okay, Java dalam yang web server version. So dia punya language yang digunakan untuk nak display dia pun adalah menggunakan HTML punya language kan. Sebab tu dia ada HTML open and close. So dia ada body, nak display everything inside the body, display kat head, title, okay. Dan kat body dia display apa? Hello world. Maksudnya kat sini apa yang di-displaykan adalah hello world sahaja. Okay. Okay, so move on to compiling the servlets. So yang ini saya rasa you guys already go through inside your lab kan, di mana you guys create the .xml tu. Okay. Ini web.xml tu. Kalau you guys already successful inside your lab 1, inside your lab 7 part 1 tu, cantik dah lah. Hari ni dia just explain je balik. Okay, so servlet in classes tu web.xml. Okay, dalam you guys punya lab installation exercise tu juga you guys create the servlet kan. Okay, so here you guys boleh tengok, this is actually we call it as the servlet declaration, where we declare the servlet. And bawah ni adalah servlet mapping. Okay, we map the servlet to the URL. Barulah kita boleh cari nanti dekat atas nama dia. Okay, so here for example, we create the servlet name as hellops. So here this is the abbreviation. So servlet class refer kepada class hellops. Okay, so fully qualified. So the mapping of the servlet adalah dia mapkan, dia gunakan perkataan sama juga seperti servlet name. Servlet name so dia mapkan the servlet name of hellops dan klik kat atas ni. Okay, yang ini caranya macam ni Dia create servlet name map kepada servlet class yang kita create tadi. Okay, so sekarang ni menggunakan servlet name yang kita bawa klik atas ni, kita mapkan kepada URL. Then you can use this to view your web page. Okay, hellops ni just display the hellops. Okay, so this is the demo. I try to open the demo but cannot. Tapi itu saya rujuk balik dengan Sir Raymond, but he's the one who shared this link with me. Okay. Okay, so now macam saya cakap tadi dalam Servlet dia ada several features kan. Dia ada security-nya lah, dia ada data management-nya lah, so dia ada session tracking juga. So kita akan go through few features of Servlet lah. So here we have session tracking. So web server use HTTP. HTTP is a stateless protocol. So each request is treated independently by the web server. So this protocol works fine for simple web browsing, where each request typically results in an HTML file or a text file being sent back to the client. So such simple requests are isolated. However, a request in interactive web applications are often deleted. Session tracking, so what is actually a session? Session ni, contoh session ni bila awak login, habis kat atas tu dia able to display your name kan. Pergi next page pun dia ada lagi. Contohnya, saya login untuk masuk Facebook, okay. Saya masuk username dengan password, login, dia link dengan database, okay. Saya punya web page, go through the server go through the database, oh ada data ada. Facebook dia adalah virus. So nanti dekat throughout all the saya punya pages dekat Facebook, bisa buka tu di atas tu adalah nama saya. So that is the session kan. So session can be defined as a series of related interactions between a single client and the web server over a period of time. To track data among requests in a session is known as a session tracking. Okay, session tracking techniques kita ada using hidden values, using cookies, using the session tracking tools from the Servlet API. Ini contoh menggunakan hidden values dekat dalam session tracking. Macam mana kita nak benda tu di-hidden kan? Just dekat type ni nanti, instead of straight away input name, sebelum name letakkan dulu type hidden. So tak nampak lah nanti. Just being stored dekat dalam cookies dia saja. Okay, so example, using hidden values in the registration form. So contoh, the client figure. Okay, so here maksudnya dia register tadi, ni registration, dia simpan dekat session dia. Last name Smith, first name John. So bila dia nak display balik maklumat apa yang di store kat session dia, last name Smith, first name John, MI. So this is the details yang di captured from the session. Okay, next we have a cookies. So cookies are sent from server through the instructions in the header of the HTTP response. So the browser will then send the cookies with any request submitted to the same server cookie and have expiration date set after each cookies, after which the cookies will not be sent over the server. Maksudnya cookies ni dia ada juga tempoh expired dia. So within the time, contohnya bila you guys login inside Facebook, okay, bila log out je daripada Facebook tu, bila you guys log out je daripada Facebook, the cookies akan hilang. Maksudnya dia tak akan ingat dah apa maklumat-maklumat yang awak search kat dalam Facebook tu, for example. Okay, ini kalau dia implement cookies dan dia letak dia punya date dia, expiration date dia being set the cookies. Okay, now move on to the last applications of session. Kita ada Servlet API. So the problem of session tracking with hidden data and cookies are that data are not secure, okay, and difficult to deal with large set of data. Macam contoh yang tadi, dia just store username, password, yang first name, last name yang kecil-kecil, okay, not large set of data. So when it comes to this problem, how to solve this? Kita ada Java Servlet API, where this API is actually provide a session tracking tools which enable tracking for a large set of data. And data can be stored as object. Okay, so previously contohnya menggunakan session dengan cookies just only store two values, first name, last name. Okay, tetapi bila we create the Servlet API, okay, menggunakan Java Servlet API ni, not just only two, it can help to store the data up until the whole table, okay, the whole specific table, which means not just only two attributes, two field of the table, but the whole table can be stored using this Java Servlet API. Okay, so data can be stored as an object. So data are kept on the server side, so they are secured. So in terms of the security, tak kisah lagi dah sebab dia memang stored dekat dalam server side. Okay. So HTTP session class, to use the Java Servlet API for session tracking, first create a session object using the getSession method. Okay, so contohnya kalau nak menggunakan API ni lah, okay. Java Servlet API ni, HTTP session kita, session equals to request.getSession true. So this obtain the session or creates a new session if client does not have a session on the server. And after that, the HTTP session class provide the methods for reading and storing data to the session and for manipulating the session. And after that, bila dia dah store maklumat tu, dia akan further can be used. Maklumat-maklumat yang tadi, yang the whole table yang kita guna, yang kita store kat dalam as the object tadi tu, kita boleh guna lah. Lagi cepat nak manipulate data-data dia. Okay. Okay, so here for example, sending image from the servlet. So Java Servlet are not only limited by sending the text, okay. Boleh juga kita nak menggunakan, it can also return the value in terms of the picture, GIF, JPEG, and also PNG format. Okay. So here dia bagi respond.set context type image / GIF data type image kita tu lah. Kalau JPEG lah, kalau PNG. Ini for example dia bagi contoh GIF. Okay. Then how to display the stream, output stream out equals to respond.getOutput stream. Okay, so here dia send a request, dia post balik adalah image of Canada punya. Okay. Okay, so here another example creating using Java in case dia punya clock. Okay, so this is a clock created using a Java program and sent to the browser by a servlet. Okay. Kalau tak boleh nak run, nanti kita try runtime lab nanti. Okay. So now move on to the servlet exercise. Alah, yang ni guys error lah. Sebab you guys already go through inside your lab, right? So based on the example earlier tadi, so I want you guys to display, instead of display hello world, tukarkan dia kepada hello your name. Yeah. Okay, inside your servlet tu, okay, tukar daripada hello world yang tadi kepada hello your name, compile and run it. So you guys print screen that one, your coding, the output, and also create a servlet that makes a bullet list of 4 random numbers. So dalam ni, bawah ni lah, no need to make a new servlet, just only one servlet lah. No problem. Once the same servlet, atas dia display your name, bawah dia display 4 random numbers. Okay, random macam ni nak generate random numbers. Kat dalam Java, kita kena math.random to output a random Java number in Java. So you guys can try to do this and submit to me the result. Kalau tak pun, kalau saya nak try run pun, saya tak ada ni, nanti kita cuba buat sama-sama. You guys buat dulu, nanti kita buat sama-sama time lab. Okay? Okay, so you guys have any question, just drop a question dekat dalam chat room kita, dekat dalam Telegram kita. Ataupun kalau segan silu, just boleh tanya saya waktu lab session nanti. Okay? Terima kasih semua. Bye.